So let me ask you some questions.
Yeah.
So what were your biggest struggles and pains before working with us?
Well, my biggest pain and struggles were actually I didn't I didn't know that I was suffering in many ways,
Hmm.
but at the same time, I wasn't reaching the goals that I wanted. It was sometimes I was repeating a circle which came up and up and up again.
Hmm.
And at the same this frustration that you have that you want to change but the lack of knowledge which is there of how to actually change it, trying to find out different kinds of pages and channels and anything to
Hmm.
have a new result.
So what were kind of the things you were looking at to solve this?
First of all, to have like an awareness to find out like what my struggles are like. And I had some struggles in my financial, my physical, my being as a self, like having also a balance and everything,
Mhm.
and having the drive that I have to build a business, but at the same time not knowing where to start and therefore not starting at all.
Okay. What do you think is the biggest result you got from working with me?
Mm, where should I start? Besides besides that, my I've changed physically. I've changed a lot. Like a lot of body fat percentage has gone dropped down. My body weight has dropped down. Um, being more focused, having a structure, having ideas. Like I can go on and on, but for me,
Mhm.
the biggest thing that happened was a mind shift change. Like understanding that many things that I have are just beliefs, and these beliefs can be changed. And I have the tools, or I can even acquire the tools to change more and more and to perfect it in the way that I can see in the lens that I have is was the best thing that yeah like you ever gave me, and I'm very very appreciative of it.
Cool. Really glad I could help. Let me see. What is the thing you like the most about working together?
Um, First of all, I have to say I like working with you. Like, I don't know if it would be different if I would have stick to the program for such a long time if it was somebody else. So I like working with you. I like working with you as a coach, as a friend, and also as a trainer. And you're practicing entrepreneur. So you're not just saying things to just say them. You're actually building on your side, and you're telling me like in real time how it's working and how it's not working, and you're putting and doing all the steps. So I couldn't even give you excuses and tell you like you're already there. Like how can you tell me what to do if you've reached it, which you have, but you're still striving and you're going further. So that's a main component.
Mhm.
And you're a very intelligent guy. You
Thanks.
know yourself, but you keep me accountable, and that's really really good. As well as you don't just leave these things on your hand. You research a lot. You give me more ideas, more things to work on and not to work on myself.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's more than I can ever ask for because it's a lot.
Okay. Cool. Who would you recommend this type of thing to?
Um, Generally, I would say everybody,
Hmm.
but specifically, I would say if you're a person who is driven, if you're a person who you don't know what's going on right now, you're in circles again and again and again, and you're willing to change. You're deciding. You say like, I'll invest in myself. I will do these things. I have enough. Like enough is enough. Then I will tell you, yeah, do it because in a very short period of time, you will see changes within you. And if it's just, and it's not just because the biggest component for me is the mindset change. The rest is only history.
Hmm. Cool. Okay. Um, See, do you have any other questions? Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. Okay. Do you see any changes between when we started and how, like right now? And can you elaborate on that?
Hmm. Like, I mean, I've told you a few times, but it's like mine. Like to me, it's um, like mainly the energy. I think like before when we started working together, you were like a lot more. You kept like a lot of your energy like inside you. I think, and now it's like you just like let it flow, and it's like outward, and you seem very uh, like a lot like more charismatic. I think like any like I'm not sure if this makes sense, but like um, more pulling things like to you, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
That is the
Okay,
main
okay.
thing I see.
Thank you.
So
Um,
cool.
what do you like most in being a coach, a trainer, and being in your field? Like,
Mhm. Seeing that shift in like people that I work with, um, it's different for everyone. So like this is like more specific thing of you. Um, Sometimes it's just cool. So for example, um, I'm having a interview later this week with a client who went from literally like maybe $1,000 per month or something to like now he's going to be doing like 10,000. That's pretty cool.
mm,
Just like if people, because that's like one of the big things I see with pretty much every client that I work with, and like to some extent, every person kind of deals with procrastination to some extent. Um, and I think when we go through this stuff, we largely eliminate it because procrastination is usually a thing that happens when you don't really either you're scared to do the things that you need to do, or you don't see the correlation between what you do and the results that you want to get. Uh,
yeah,
and that's like one of the big things that we tackle and really help you to or help the clients to see that. And I love that as well. Like no more bullshit, no more excuses, just going for it. Then there's like special things that we can create. So
nice.
I love that. Um, okay, do you have anything else to say?
Yeah, I have two more questions, and I have like one maybe last thing I'd
Hmm.
like to say. Well, yeah. Can you tell me your origin story? Why are you doing what you're doing?
Hmm. For sure. I love that. Um, yeah, I mean, my origin story is depends on like how long you can take it, but I came from a very fucked up childhood, um, which made me very socially awkward and like timid, and made me want to be invisible at all times. Need some like defense mechanisms and like headaches at all times, and just not very pleasant stuff. Um, I at first tried to like drown that out with distraction, with smoking way too much weed, playing way too many video games, um, watching shows all day, not doing anything to progress towards my goals. And eventually, I went to the gym and I started building confidence and started building discipline. And that was kind of the first shift. Then I started doing all of these different things, but there's only so much time that we have. Eventually, you start to get stuck in what you're doing, and you can't do more. So you need to change how you do things, and that's kind of what got me on the path to performance. So yeah, like I wanted to actually build something in this world and go from playing video games, and because I was already ambitious in video games, like I was playing some games at a pretty high level, um, but that is all pointless. Like all of the time I put in there is like complete waste of time, right? And this past few years spending all this time working on myself is like where actual benefits come from, where like we're actually building things instead of okay, maybe you're building stuff inside of a video game, you get like really good at that, but there's like no, you never really accomplish something in the real world unless you are playing a very big game where you're very competitive and you make a lot of money through that, I guess. But yeah, that wasn't for me. So this is actually something where this journey never ends. You always keep stacking, and that is kind of the beauty of it, and that's why I want to continue doing that and help others do the same. So.
Last question would be, generally speaking to all your clients that you have,
Mhm.
if there would be one message that you would give all of them, like all of us,
Mhm.
what would it be?
Well, I mean, message wise, I would just say that I'm like very proud of the people that I work with, but maybe more like actionable. Um, this is something I'm pushing more as well with because I'm doing a relaunch for my like program this week. And something that I'm doing is um, pushing more on the identity side of things. And that is something that is, I think, the most important thing. That is that to get new results, you need a new you. And I labeled this in my website now as well, as that 2.0 results require 2.0 you. And this is something that I'm really pushing forward and something that I've noticed with working with my own mentors as well. Um, that is the only way to get like big lasting change. And I think you can testify to this as well. So,
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
cool.
I would like to say to anybody who's curious, anybody who's heard and watched everything right now and is inspired, or somebody who is curious, is just curious and don't know if they should continue doing it, you're on the right path. We all started somewhere, and working with Jasper and his team is phenomenal. Like it is huge, and maybe you can't see it right now. I would advise you to just try, because we have, if we're here, if we're asking ourselves these questions, we're on the right path. And the term that we also learned from Jasper was, sometimes the things other people can't see it for you, and because they can't see it for you, you can't complete and you can't continue. But if you have somebody who can see things for you, even if you don't have the vision completely yet, you'll work through it, you'll find it out, but just do it.
Cool. Thanks. Okay. I think that's pretty much everything, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You
Well,
liked it? Was
yeah,
it
for
good?
sure. Thanks for taking the time.
No, no.